we are going to talk about the menu overview and overall navigation of the PVX Skylight product. We're going to talk about the application menu and the different options that are available to you. We'll look at the network menu and again the different options available and protocols, for instance HTTP, HTTPS, DNS, some of the available dashboards. We'll look at end user response time under the application menu. Under the network menu, we'll look at the network statistics and retransmission rates and protocols and dashboards. Up here at the top, you notice there's applications. If we highlight applications, what I have showing right now is the business critical applications that I've defined: HTTPS, HTTP, ICA, etc. You can see them there listed over here on the left. You can see here red, green, or yellow if the application has exceeded a threshold, and you notice here we're monitoring the end user response time thresholds over time. And for instance, if I highlight one of these, we can see that the end user response time is over 12 seconds there. And of that, we have round trip time client 16, round trip time server 50 milliseconds, server response time 2 seconds, data transfer time client 54 milliseconds, data transfer time server about 10 seconds. So the majority of the time is spent moving the data, transferring the data from the server, 10 seconds worth anyway. So again, applications dashboard, we can see we can zoom in on a particular application, particular server hosting the application, a particular client subnet or zone that's using the application. We can look at performance, detailed matrix, contextual matrix, again all of the different choices. We can also look at the network, business critical networks. I can say, let's take a look at this here. And as you can see, our local network, everything looks pretty good there. Got a couple of yellows, and basically the yellows are retransmission rates. The latency looks relatively good, 2 milliseconds. But again, the yellow there, that's retransmission rate, so some TCP retransmissions going on. Again, under the network choices, lots of things that we can zone in on: monitoring of a specific IP, the bandwidth, performance, again detailed matrix, specific protocols, top IPs. We can build our own custom charts. Under the protocols, we can look at DNS, HTTP, SQL, CIFS, Citrix, and voice. And under dashboards, that's the PVX here. We can look at, for instance, the network overview. So looking at the network overview, we see total traffic, 18 gig, total PDUs. You can see how much of that was TCP versus UDP versus ICMP and others there as well. Other and then non. Our traffic by IP types, IPv4 obviously the majority, a little bit of IPv6. You can see the traffic by protocols. We can scroll down here. We can see server latency, traffic by bytes, about 200 megabytes, the most active clients. If we continue to scroll, how many connections, how many successful connections, packet retransmission rate. Again, we saw that in the overview on the previous screen that there were some retransmissions going on, and what's that retransmission rate. So a lot of very good information looking at what PVX can offer. So again, I'm going to go back to our business critical application where I started, and we see the different applications. Again, HTTP, HTTPS, ICA. So if we just look at one of these, for instance here, HTTP, we can see end user round trip time, 959 milliseconds. But we can also come down, sorry I moved it, we can also come down and look at the flows of that particular time span, and we can see kind of what's going on, the amount of traffic moved between client and server. Here's the client IP talking to the server IP. Again, the protocol stack HTTP, how much traffic was moved, how many packets, etc. We can sort on round trip time, and we can see in this case the longest round trip time 533, but let's go ahead and sort on that. And the next one 172, 135, so we can see our round trip time. We can sort on end user response time, and again we would like that to be pretty low. Here we get 56 seconds. That's pretty long when somebody's going to be complaining. Second and a half, again a little bit long for HTTP, and we can even drill in further, but that's a topic for a later discussion. So I hope that gives you a brief overview as to the menus and navigation of using PVX.